things I'd like to take care of, a little housekeeping chore before we, can you hear me? Oh, okay.
You can use either one.
I've got a couple things I want to take care of before we get into some serious business.
That's good. That's
And,
good.
a little housekeeping chore. Our post had a refrigerated trailer that we bought many long years ago. We used it for barbecues and things like that. We decided we would turn that over to the district for anybody else to use if wants to use it. And the contents in the trailer is used for the hospitality room at the state convention. So I'd like to turn this over to the district commander at this time. Thank you. We were always big on buying a bunch of poppies. So we had quite a few, what, 3,000 or 4,000?
5,000 or 6,000.
We had a few thousand left over. So we're going to turn those over to the district also to be dispersed to whoever needs them, as well as the cans that we had to collect the poppies with, or collect the donations. And, did I miss anything? Oh, we decided as a post, rather than to buy flowers when one of our post members died, we bought Bibles. And we have 2 Bibles left over, so we're going to donate those to the district also to be dispersed with whoever needs them. Went down somewhere. Okay. Now, time has come.
Oh, very nice.
We decided we'd, instead of sending flowers, that, just after a couple of days of going, this is something the family could cherish. And we had Choo-Choo just run off the track. I think what we need to do now is turn our charter into the state commander.
That's heavy.
Thank you. That fulfills our obligation as a post and as an association. The Petrati Youth Home Association was set up when the original 6211 post, I guess, merged with another post a long time ago. I don't remember the number. But Roger, you remember the number?
3060?
Sounds right.
Yeah.
And which took their charter then back to 1934. So they were like a lot of other posts that, fortunately, they had a building, and over the years it was made money with it and all this stuff. But as the people got older and they couldn't get people to come to meetings, and then the home became a white elephant. So Herman Wood, which unfortunately passed away last year, him and a few other members came over with us, and Herman at the time was the sole surviving member of the original Post 6211 that came over with us. And like I say, he passed away last year, so I was hoping he'd be here to see this, but I called his wife. She returned my call today, and I told her we were doing this. And she said Herman would be happy. So, without further ado, I have a check. Oh, I forgot one other small item. When we'd have our post meetings, Alvin Keeker was our quartermaster for many long times, and many long years, and he'd give a report to every week or every month for the quartermaster report, and it was always 96 cents or 97 cents. We'd always get on him and say, why you couldn't add 3 pennies to that and make an even dollar? So, keeping that tradition in mind, I added another penny to this. It could come out to 99 cents, so we evened it to $1. That was for Alvin. Now, will all the members of 6211 or anybody that was here from 8602, please come up to the podium. That's you guys, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So at this time, we have some distinguished guests here, which we'd also like to recognize and come up. Then I'm going to have a brief word, then we're going to have the presentation, and then I will ask each one of them to speak. I know everybody has a little history or something that they would like to say. So at this time, we are honored here to have Patrice Green. Would you please come forward? Our National Home Executive Director. Sissy Burrell, our Region Trustee and past National President. Jim Miller, past Commander-in-Chief and retired Trustee of the National Home. And all of you have met Troy Williams, our Department Commander. And we are fortunate enough here to have Carol Ann Osterloh, our Auxiliary President. Marilyn Archuleta, Department National Home Chairperson. Deborah Halter, Department and Big Ten Chaplain. Tom Mondale, past Department Commander. And Mitch Mitchum is representing Paul Ziegler here today for the Cooties. Mitch, would you please come forward? So, after a long and successful run, Post 6211 has made the decision to close their doors. This is not a sad day. The members will transfer to posts that are within the 12th District and continue doing the good things that they are known for. We're here to celebrate all the things that Maryland Heights, Post 6211, has done throughout their community. I've been the District Commander for the last 3 years, and Maryland Heights has always stepped up to the plate. Whether it was lending their barbecue pit, helping a veteran in need, or just being events to help promote the VFW cause. Again today, this post is ensuring that veterans and families of veterans in need are taken care of in the same tradition they have always displayed in all of their post activities. The membership has put aside a check that will support the National Home for years to come. I would now like to call Patrice Green and Ed Dean. Up front, please.
If I may, one more small token that I forgot here, not token, but, Commander, there was $1,078 or $79.08 left in our, checking account. I don't. We'll make it 10 cents here. Anyhow, this was money left in our funds. Okay, I stand corrected, it's $1,079.10. And if any way at all possible, we'd like for this to be given to the Service Officers Fund.
We'll make that happen.
Now, the moment we've all been waiting for.
Commander, would you like to say anything else, or you?
I don't necessarily, but I think Mr. Mondale would.
Let me go through.
Very good.
So, Ms. Patrice Green, please, we're so honored to have you here today. Thank you.
Before I get going here, we have a proclamation that has been written in honor of this post, and Sissy Burrell, your National Home Trustee, is going to present that.
I can only read words that are 4 letters.
Well, okay, I'll help you out.
Proclamation of Appreciation honoring VFW Post 6211, Maryland Heights, Missouri. Whereas the members of Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 6211 of Maryland Heights, Missouri served their country faithfully in the United States Armed Forces, and whereas the founding members of Post 6211 established this VFW Post home to serve their fellow veterans and their communities, doing so faithfully for decades. And whereas VFW Post 6211 has been an organizational life member of the VFW National Home for Children since 1972, faithfully supporting the programs and services of their national home for many years. And whereas, with the forethought of its founders, VFW Post 6211 determined that should the post charter be surrendered, their wish was to continue their mission of assisting veterans and their children and families. And whereas, with the legacy gift presented to the VFW National Home for Children this day, the long-standing wishes of the founding post members is now being carried out. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the VFW National Home for Children expresses their sincere gratitude to all the members, both past and present, of Post 6211 of Maryland Heights, Missouri, for their legacy of outstanding service to veterans and their families, and for their years of love and support of the VFW National Home for Children. And now, further be it resolved that by order of the Board of Trustees, this proclamation shall be placed in the permanent records of the VFW National Home for Children, adopted on this 16th day of February 2019. And it's signed by the Board President, Mike McGrath, VFW National Home Board of Trustees, and attested by Patrice Green, the Executive Director for the VFW National Home for Children. I would like to take a moment. Point of privilege here. I've spoken to each one of these gentlemen personally, but I want you to know that this is what we need in our organization, is people who have the foresight to look beyond that day, to look down the road, and to know that many things can happen and may happen. But to be prepared, and this group of men has done that. They have looked past the day when they started their organization to this day, and they have made preparation for the VFW National Home for Children, which will, in fact, continue the work that you've done so diligently. And you will provide funds for your home that's there, and you will make a difference in so many veterans' families' lives. And so, to each one of you, I can't say thank you enough. We will do everything we can to make sure that your work never goes unnoticed, and that if there's ever anything we can do for you, you make sure that you let us know at the home. Thank you.
Jim, would you like to say a few words?
Make a break, Commander. I've had the honor in my career with the VFW to be Commander-in-Chief, but one of the highlights of this organization was to serve on the National Home Board from 2009 to 2015 for 6 years as a trustee. During my years, when I was post commander back in 1972, was my first trip to the National Home for Children. I'll never forget that trip up there and what it has meant to me. To me, if I had anything to say, this is what our organization is all about, the VFW and the Auxiliary, of taking care of veterans and their families. I've had the opportunity through the years when I was Commander-in-Chief, going through the chairs, to go up there and sit on the board meeting. I can't thank enough the foresight that you all have, what you all are doing 6211 to remember the National Home. Just this past year in October, I went up for the Missouri-Wisconsin Halloween party while we were up there at the National Home. And at the party, I sat down across the table from a young couple. They had 5 children. The mother has brain cancer. She said if it wasn't for the National Home, I don't know what we would do. And I hope I'm not stepping out of line, but I think Patrice said that they just got a call that I think the mother was admitted back in the hospital with what she's dealing with. I guarantee you what you are doing and what our National Home does, there's no better project than what you have had the foresight to do. I commend you all for what you're doing for the National Home. God bless you and thank you.
Mayor Williams, would you like to say a few words?
6211 and all your members, I would like to say thank you for the foresight of what you guys did with this money. I know it will go a long ways for the children's home. What I would like to say to each and every one of you, thank you for everything that you have done in this organization and everything that you will do in this organization. And as your commander, I'd just like to shake your hands.
Thank you.
And hope that you find a new home. And I know that's gonna happen, right?
I got a feeling I got a place I can go.
Thank you for everything you did. The money that goes to the Service Officer Fund, I'm a service officer, so from the bottom of my heart and the rest of the service officers, thank you for that donation. And thank you guys.
Thank you.
And now, Caroline, would you like to speak?
Well, on behalf of the Department VFW Auxiliary, I commend you on a job well done. And as servicemen who have made my life what it is today, and the safety I have here at home, I thank you, each and every one. And I can't tell you how proud it makes me to know that you're still on duty, doing the very best you can for our country, for our children, and for our future. Thank you.
Marilyn, would you like to say a few words?
Post 6211, thank you so much for remembering the needs at the National Home. We will make sure that what you have done is not forgotten, but I will tell you this, you are going to be a very tough act to follow for the rest of the state when I make challenges. So thank you, and I will make those challenges to them.
You just took the bag, cat out of the bag. I was going to challenge her myself.
Yeah, but this is my mission as Department of National Home Chairman is to make sure that every member in the state is aware of the work that is done by the National Home through the National Home to help those veterans that are in need of that help. Because we don't ever want to have a VFW member that gets approached by someone that may need that assistance, and a veteran in the state of Missouri, VFW member, tell them, I can't help you, I don't know what to do. We don't ever, ever want that to happen in this state. And that has become my mission in this position. So again, Post 6211, thank you all so much for your beautiful generosity for the National Home. It is going to be something that is for lifetimes, is going to be so beneficial to so many families, so many children, and so many veterans. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
You have all of us.
I don't think you're done yet. Deb Halter?
No, I would pass. They've said it so beautifully.
Tom, would you like to say a few words?
I just wanted to take a moment to honor Mr. Ed Dean and each of the members of 6211 for their integrity and honor and everything that they stand for and what they have done by their actions, proving that no one does more for veterans than the veterans of foreign wars. And thank you for standing the course under a lot of pressure. Your forefathers, the founders, requested that money to go to a specific place, and you've stayed the course. We honor that, and that's the integrity and honor of the veterans of foreign wars, and I salute you for that.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much.
Now we're gonna have Mitch Mitchum come forward, which is Representative Cooties, and this is their whole mission, so we're very proud to have him here today.
I just want to thank the 6211. I remember at the time when I was the district commander, and 6211 always stood up okay? I think that that was the first year that we made All-American as a district, and I thank you. And I also, representing the Grand of Missouri, the Cooties, it was one of the brainchild of the Cooties for the National Home, okay? We always support the National Home, and I know all of the pup tents, all of the posts also support the National Home. In each and every one of our meetings, we take time out and recognize our National Home for Children. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Gentlemen, come forward. I ain't gonna do this by myself. Alvin? I got a stick here to cover that. As was stated before, the association, members of the Post are members of the association. And we have a check here. There's the penny that makes it to you.
Oh my gosh. I've just been handed a check in the amount of $409,569.99. And a penny.
It's to go to the Missouri Home. Get in here, guys. Come on, get in here. You're very welcome.
And before you guys leave, we already have a post accepting the challenge. Ron Edmeyer, would you come forward, please?
Oh, boy.
Nice.
Oh, excuse me.
If I could say something about Post 6211 real quick. There was a time when this Post 2184 was in distress and we needed help. Post 6211 gave us quite a sizable donation. This post is committed for the next 20 years to pay back the money to Post 6211 through donation every year at the January meeting to the Veteran Service Officer Fund in the name of Post 6211 to pay them back for the money that they helped us with. At this time, Post 2184 and its members would like to donate $500 to the VFW National Home for Children.
And I would like to thank all of you so much for being here today. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
I'm not that quiet. We've been aware for just a short period of time that there was a sizable donation coming from Post 6211, and we learned a little bit about the history of how the dedication of some of the members of 6211. I understand that some of the original folk that put together a plan to build that post actually put up mortgaged their own homes back in the 40s in order to build that post. And with that kind of faith, you were sure to have been so successful all through the years. I know that there's countless people that you've helped. And that it's kind of a happy, sad day, obviously. When we lose a post, we're not happy about that. But sometimes it's what has to happen. But we're happy that the money is coming to the VFW National Home for Children, and there for forever and ever, that money will be there to assist and help other children and families of our veterans and veterans themselves. Earlier, Jim spoke about one example, just one example. He spoke about a family that we have there of 5 children. The dad is the veteran. He also has PTSD and some other serious things that he's working through with our help and your help. The wife is been given about 3 more weeks to live. They've been at the home for a couple of years now, but we're standing beside her, walking this path with them, helping them with those children. They have a teenager on down to a little over 1-year-old in our, and she's helped every single day in our daycare center that we provide at the National Home. He's been working very hard to overcome his PTSD and also to be educated so that he can take care of his family of 5 children, because we know his wife's income is going to go away, and he knows it too. He'll be getting his degree through the help that you've provided at the National Home and through our help, through our daycare and the other services that we provide, and the support of her as she walks through this illness. He's going to be getting his nursing degree soon, which will allow him to take care of others, and it will allow him income to take care of his children once they leave the National Home. That is only one example of the families that are being helped at the National Home because of you and your hard work and your faith and your dedication. And we appreciate you all so much. So 6211, you will live on at the National Home, and you will be forever in our hearts with this wonderful gift here today. Many of you know we have a brick walkway at the National Home where you can purchase a brick and have whatever you want put in it. And 6211, being faithful members of the National Home, already has a brick, but they don't have a brick that says this: VFW Post 6211, forever in our hearts. And as soon as the weather breaks, we're going to be placing this brick in your honor. Thank you all so much. And one more hug.
Again, thank all of you for being here today. I know that you came a little earlier than what we normally do, but I want today to be a day we remember for a long time. 6211 is going to be in our minds and hearts for a long time to come. So let's give 6211 a big hand and thank you again for being here.